Mysterious formation seen above our planet. A strange phenomenon has once again been observed on Google Earth, captivating those who study unusual anomalies and mysteries of the skies. A massive straight line, stretching unbroken from Antarctica all the way to the North Pole, has appeared to cut across the planet. At first glance, it seems impossible that such a perfect line could occur naturally, yet the image leaves little doubt that something extraordinary is at play. This map, taken from a great distance, normally provides only large cloud formations and major weather activity. However, this straight streak across the Earth does not resemble any typical cloud formation. Researchers quickly dismissed the idea that it could have been created by a plane. The sheer size and perfection of the line makes that explanation implausible. Instead, they have pointed toward the possibility of a mysterious anomaly, something vast, swift, and beyond our conventional understanding of atmospheric science. The line spans an astonishing 13,000 miles, running from pole to pole without a single break in its formation. For such a phenomenon to occur, whatever force created it must be immense, covering the planet in one continuous motion. Not only would it need to move with extraordinary speed, but it would also have to maintain an unwavering trajectory, carving through the atmosphere in a perfectly straight path. According to some specialists, the line looks as though whatever caused it swept across the Earth in a matter of mere minutes, leaving behind this massive trace. This is not the first time such a sighting has been recorded. Previous instances of mysterious global lines on satellite images have raised questions about what could possibly generate such a phenomenon. The reappearance of the same anomaly suggests that it is not a one-time occurrence, but rather the result of something that continues to operate on a planetary scale. Some believe it could be connected to atmospheric or electromagnetic activity that is not yet understood, while others speculate about advanced technologies capable of influencing the skies on a global level. Whatever the origin, the image speaks for itself. A colossal line stretching seamlessly across Earth, formed by a power or presence far beyond ordinary human activity. It remains one of the most puzzling and intriguing phenomena ever documented on Google Earth. In a surprising and covert conservation effort, scientists released millions of mosquitoes from helicopters above Hawaii to save rare and endangered bird species from extinction. While this operation highlights the innovative lengths to which researchers are willing to go to protect wildlife, it also sparked unease among residents. For many, the secrecy surrounding the project rekindled memories of Oxitec, a biotech company that quietly released billions of genetically modified mosquitoes over several years in other parts of the world. The parallels between these initiatives raise questions about transparency, public trust, and the ethical boundaries of wildlife conservation. Hawaii's rare bird species, such as the honeycreepers, are under severe threat from avian malaria, a disease transmitted by non-native mosquitoes. With warming climates expanding the range of these insects into higher elevations, once safe habitats for these birds have become hotspots for disease transmission. The decline in bird populations has been alarming, pushing some species to the brink of extinction. In response, scientists developed a novel approach to address the mosquito problem, releasing millions of male mosquitoes infected with Wolbachia, a naturally occurring bacterium that renders them sterile when mated with wild females. These sterilized males cannot produce viable offspring, effectively reducing mosquito populations over time. By deploying helicopters to distribute these mosquitoes across vast and inaccessible regions, researchers aim to curb the spread of avian malaria and provide a fighting chance for Hawaii's endangered birds. However, this initiative was carried out with minimal public disclosure, raising concerns among residents. The lack of transparency reminded many of Oxitec's controversial experiments with genetically modified mosquitoes in other parts of the world, sparking debates about the ethics and communication surrounding such projects. These releases were met with mixed reactions. While some praised the technology as a groundbreaking solution to mosquito-borne diseases, others criticized the company for its lack of transparency and insufficient engagement with local communities. In many cases, residents were unaware of the releases until after they occurred, fueling suspicions about potential risks to human health, ecosystems, and biodiversity. Oxitec's history of covert operations left a lasting impression on the public. When news of the mosquito releases in Hawaii emerged, it reignited fears about the unintended consequences of manipulating mosquito populations and the ethical implications of conducting large-scale experiments without public knowledge. The similarities between the Hawaii Mosquito Project and Oxitec's operations are striking. Both initiatives involved innovative mosquito control strategies aimed at solving urgent ecological and public health problems. Both were conducted with limited public awareness, and both sparked controversy over the ethics of releasing altered mosquito populations into the environment. In Hawaii, the decision to release millions of Wolbachia-infected mosquitoes from helicopters without informing residents highlights a recurring issue in conservation and biotechnology: the tension between scientific urgency and public trust. Scientists defending the Hawaii project argue that delays caused by prolonged public consultation could jeopardize the survival of critically endangered bird species. However, critics contend that withholding information from the public erodes trust and creates unnecessary fear, especially when the methods used involve biological interventions. The lessons from Oxitec's experience suggest that transparency is key to fostering public support for such initiatives. Proactive engagement with local communities, clear communication of risks and benefits, and open discussions about ethical considerations can help alleviate concerns and build consensus around these projects. Without these efforts, even well-intentioned interventions risk being viewed with suspicion. Both the Hawaii Mosquito Project and Oxitec's experiments raise important ethical and ecological questions. While the goal of saving bird species or controlling mosquito-borne diseases is undeniably noble, altering mosquito populations on a large scale carries potential risks. For example, reducing mosquito numbers could disrupt food chains, impacting species that rely on mosquitoes as a food source. Additionally, the release of modified or infected mosquitoes could have unintended consequences, such as the spread of Wolbachia to non-target species or the evolution of resistant mosquito populations. These uncertainties underscore the need for rigorous environmental assessments before implementing such projects. Equally important is the inclusion of diverse perspectives in decision-making processes, ensuring that scientific, ethical, and community concerns are all taken into account. Insiders warned that the use of genetically modified organisms has been a subject of significant debate and research in recent years, and one of the most notable applications is the release of genetically modified mosquitoes into ecosystems to combat the spread of diseases such as malaria and dengue fever. It raises concerns about the potential side effects and unintended consequences on the environment and the delicate balance of ecosystems. One of the foremost concerns regarding the release of genetically modified mosquitoes is the potential disruption of ecological balance within the targeted ecosystem. Mosquitoes play a role in food webs as a food source for various predators, including birds, bats, and other insects. Introducing genetically modified mosquitoes with altered characteristics may disrupt the natural predator-prey relationships, leading to unintended consequences for local wildlife. For instance, if genetically modified mosquitoes are engineered to have reduced reproductive capabilities, it could lead to a decrease in the mosquito population, and while this might be the intended outcome, it could also affect the populations of animals that rely on mosquitoes as a primary food source. The resulting imbalances could have cascading effects throughout the ecosystem. Releasing genetically modified mosquitoes into an ecosystem can lead to the evolution of resistance among the target mosquito populations. When genetically modified mosquitoes are introduced, it is possible that a subset of the population may have genetic variations that enable them to survive and reproduce, despite the genetic modifications designed to control their numbers. Over time, these resistant mosquitoes could become dominant, rendering the genetic modification less effective and potentially making the mosquito population even more challenging to control. The evolution of resistance is a common concern in pest management strategies and highlights the importance of long-term monitoring and adaptability in genetically modified mosquito programs. Genetically modified mosquito releases may affect not only the targeted mosquito species, but also non-target species within the ecosystem. For instance, if genetically modified mosquitoes are engineered to carry a lethal gene, there is a risk that the gene could transfer to non-target species through hybridization. This could lead to unintended harm to species that are not pests and may even threaten local biodiversity. Additionally, the release of genetically modified mosquitoes may inadvertently harm beneficial insects, such as pollinators like bees and butterflies, which share habitats with mosquitoes. The potential collateral damage to non-target species raises ethical and ecological concerns, as these unintended consequences could have far-reaching implications for ecosystem health and stability. Another significant concern is the potential for the modified genes in genetically modified mosquitoes to spread beyond the targeted population. Genetic material can be transmitted through interbreeding with non-genetically modified mosquitoes, potentially leading to the unintended spread of the modified genes throughout the ecosystem. The uncontrolled spread of genetically modified genes can have unpredictable consequences, particularly if the modified genes provide an advantage that allows the genetically modified mosquitoes to outcompete native mosquito populations or other species within the ecosystem. It is crucial to develop stringent containment strategies to minimize the risk of genetic spread. While the primary goal of releasing genetically modified mosquitoes is to reduce disease transmission, there is a possibility that altering the mosquito population could have unintended consequences for disease dynamics within the ecosystem. Changes in the mosquito population may affect the transmission dynamics of diseases beyond the targeted ones. For instance, reducing the population of disease-carrying mosquitoes could indirectly lead to an increase in the prevalence of other diseases that rely on mosquitoes as vectors. This phenomenon underscores the need for comprehensive research and modeling to understand the potential impacts on disease dynamics and to mitigate unintended consequences. Recently, a man exploring remote areas of the United States on Google Earth stumbled upon something peculiar: 4 large black monolithic structures standing isolated in the middle of a desert national wildlife range. These objects, perfectly aligned and jet black in color, seem to rise out of the empty landscape with no discernible purpose or nearby human structures to explain their existence. Located in a barren, arid region with no apparent roads, buildings, or even pathways nearby, the discovery has puzzled online communities and fueled speculation about their origins, sparking questions about whether these objects are remnants of human activities, mysterious government installations, or something altogether more enigmatic. The man's initial discovery on Google Earth was pure chance. While zooming in on the desert landscape, he noticed the monolithic shapes standing out sharply against the sandy terrain. The objects are not small. From the Google Earth satellite imagery, they appear to be around 10 to 20 feet tall and maintain a rectangular, almost industrial design, similar to the famous monoliths depicted in science fiction, most notably in Arthur C. Clarke's 2001, A Space Odyssey. Their stark contrast against the desert backdrop instantly caught the man's attention, prompting him to post his findings on social media and forums dedicated to mysterious and unexplained phenomena. The coordinates quickly went viral as others opened up Google Earth and confirmed the sighting of the 4 black structures in the middle of the National Wildlife Range. Each object appears almost identical in size and shape, arranged with a symmetry that implies a deliberate placement, yet they are entirely alone in a vast, empty stretch of desert. This layout raises questions, as one would expect that structures of such a size and design would be accompanied by some supporting infrastructure or at least a pathway or road for access. Yet the satellite images show no signs of human activity in the surrounding area. No vehicle tracks, no power lines, no facilities, nothing that would suggest a reason for the monoliths to exist in such a remote location. Speculation has erupted, with some theorizing that these structures could be related to secretive government or military operations. The US military has a known history of testing in secluded desert areas, from missile tests to the development of new technologies, often in zones closed off to public access. Certain locations in Nevada have fueled decades of speculation, largely due to their remote placement and the veil of secrecy that surrounds them. In this context, the monolithic structures could theoretically serve as markers, observation towers, or signal posts for unmanned or experimental technologies being tested in the area. However, there is no concrete evidence linking these objects to any government program, and their purpose, if they do indeed serve a purpose, remains unexplained. Other theories have proposed that the monoliths may be art installations or monuments left by an unknown artist. The desert has long been a canvas for large-scale art projects that aim to highlight humanity's relationship with vast, untouched landscapes. The idea that the monoliths could have been placed there by someone or something, while fantastical, has captivated the imagination of many who see them as akin to the monoliths in A Space Odyssey. In that novel, monoliths were left by an advanced extraterrestrial civilization as markers or signals, guiding humanity's development across millennia. While there is no scientific evidence to support this notion, the strange placement of these structures in an otherwise untouched landscape has led some to question whether there could be something more extraordinary behind their existence. Supporters of the extraterrestrial theory argue that the absence of human infrastructure around the monoliths, combined with their stark and mysterious design, could signify that they are not human-made or are intended for a purpose beyond human understanding. Further investigation into the history and satellite images of the area has provided few clues. Going back in time with Google Earth's historical imagery feature reveals that the monoliths have been present for at least a few years, though their exact date of appearance is hard to pinpoint due to the infrequent updates in such remote regions. The area itself is devoid of any other markings or signs of construction, which would typically accompany installations of such magnitude. If they were constructed as part of a project, it would have required extensive planning and resources, making the lack of accompanying infrastructure even more puzzling. Environmentalists and conservationists have raised concerns about the structures, given their presence in a national wildlife range. Desert wildlife ranges are protected lands, established to preserve the natural landscape and provide habitats for various species, often in fragile ecosystems. The introduction of large, unnatural structures could potentially disrupt local wildlife or interfere with migration patterns. This consideration adds another layer to the mystery, as the structure's presence could indicate unauthorized activity in protected lands, raising questions about oversight and enforcement in such isolated areas. Until further investigation provides a clearer answer, the mystery of the monoliths remains unresolved. The objects, which first appeared in satellite images from May 2018, have reminded many observers of the famous Utah monolith that sparked a global sensation when it was discovered in the Utah desert in late 2020. Much like this previous monolith, the four large black structures in the National Wildlife Range share a sleek, minimalist design and appear in an otherwise untouched desert landscape. The Utah monolith, a tall, silver, reflective pillar, had captivated the public's imagination with its mysterious, seemingly alien placement and origin, evoking a sense of wonder and sparking viral speculation. The resemblance of these newer desert monoliths to the Utah structure has prompted many to question whether this could be part of an ongoing, deliberate placement by an unknown entity, be it an artist, a clandestine organization, or something beyond human explanation. As with the Utah monolith, these black objects seem to defy easy categorization. The 2020 monolith in Utah became infamous not only for its enigmatic appearance, but also for the intense public reaction it generated. Thousands of people speculated about its purpose, and enthusiasts even trekked across rough terrain to visit it in person, only for it to vanish just as mysteriously a few days later. Many interpreted it as an artistic statement, a cultural commentary, or an homage to science fiction. After the Utah monolith's sudden disappearance, similar structures began appearing in various places worldwide, from California to Romania, leading many to believe that these were part of a coordinated artistic movement or series of installations. However, the objects found in this US National Wildlife Range differ in some important ways. First, the black desert monoliths are significantly larger than the Utah monolith, towering in isolation in the vast desert expanse with a commanding presence that makes them look even more intentional. Additionally, the placement of the Utah monolith was eventually traced to an area accessible by small, obscure trails, whereas these four structures are in a location so remote that there are no visible access roads, pathways, or any signs of recent human activity in the vicinity. This inaccessibility and their larger scale add to the mystery, suggesting that if they were installed by humans, it would have required a significant amount of effort, planning, and resources to transport and place them there. The Utah monolith's impact on global pop culture has influenced the way these newer structures are perceived, as people cannot help but draw comparisons. The striking placement of these four black monoliths has led some to wonder if they might be a continuation of the Utah monolith phenomenon, possibly installed by an artist or collective, hoping to create a long-lasting mystery that spans deserts, countries, and even continents. Others wonder if these structures might have a different purpose entirely, one more secretive or scientific in nature. The fact that these monoliths appeared as early as 2018, well before the Utah monolith garnered public attention, raises questions about the intent behind these installations and whether they are related at all to the 2020 phenomenon. In addition to the mysterious origin, the May 2018 appearance date has stirred further interest in their purpose. Some have pointed out that 2018 saw an increase in discussions about military and private interest in desert testing grounds, particularly for advanced technology like drones, unmanned vehicles, and environmental monitoring devices. If these monoliths are indeed tied to such projects, they may serve a purpose beyond simple aesthetic appeal, perhaps as signal markers, experimental communication devices, or even data collection instruments that operate under the radar. The smooth, dark exteriors of these structures could suggest stealth materials or construction techniques designed to minimize detection or interference, adding to the intrigue and the theories that they could be connected to classified activities. While the monolith's aesthetic evokes the same minimalist, almost otherworldly design of the Utah monolith, the appearance of these structures within a national wildlife range has led some to speculate that they could represent a new kind of land art or environmental installation, one intended to be discovered serendipitously through digital mapping tools like Google Earth. These tools have allowed people around the world to become modern explorers, finding and sharing discoveries that would have otherwise remained unknown. In this sense, the placement of the black monoliths in such a remote area could be an invitation for discovery, encouraging viewers to engage with the desert landscape and think about humanity's relationship with vast, unexplored spaces. However, despite the allure of an art installation theory, the apparent size and inaccessible location of these monoliths make it unlikely that they were placed purely for artistic purposes. Unlike the Utah monolith, which was easily accessible by visitors, these four objects seem intentionally placed in a way that makes them nearly impossible to reach by conventional means, leading many to suspect that their purpose might be practical or scientific rather than artistic. The question of who placed these objects in the desert and why remains unanswered, as no organization or individual has come forward to claim responsibility or offer an explanation. The similarity to the Utah monolith has only amplified the public's curiosity, fueling discussions about modern-day mysteries, the power of unexplored landscapes, and the role of technology in shaping our encounters with the unknown. In a world where digital technology has made it possible to scrutinize every corner of the Earth, these monoliths remind us that there are still places and phenomena that resist easy explanation. The remote placement and unexpected discovery of the four black monoliths in a protected wildlife range offer a mystery reminiscent of ancient structures like Stonehenge or the Easter Island statues, monuments whose exact purpose, origin, and creators remain obscured by time and the limits of our knowledge. Recently, a curious individual browsing Google Earth made a surprising discovery: a pyramid-like structure emerging from the icy landscape of Antarctica. The formation, which appeared perfectly geometric with sharp lines and triangular symmetry, stood out against the stark white background of the surrounding snow and ice. As news of the sighting spread, it ignited a wave of intrigue and speculation across social media and online forums, where people began to wonder about its origins. Is it a natural geological formation, a remnant of an ancient civilization, or even something unknown? The Antarctic pyramid has captured the imaginations of countless people, pushing them to question what secrets may still lie hidden within Earth's least explored continent. According to the individual who spotted the structure, the pyramid's shape was too precise to be a coincidence. Situated in one of the most isolated and inhospitable regions on the planet, the pyramid-like structure's defined edges, sharp angles, and near-perfect symmetry made it stand out dramatically from the uneven terrain of the Antarctic landscape. Google Earth images show the formation rising above the surrounding ice fields, with what appear to be clean, even sides that converge to a pointed apex, similar to the pyramids seen in Egypt, Mexico, and other ancient civilizations around the world. The striking contrast between the white background and the dark, shadowed edges of the pyramid created an almost surreal image that quickly became a focal point for online discussions. One of the most compelling aspects of this discovery is its location. Antarctica is known for its extreme conditions, with temperatures that can drop below -80 degrees Fahrenheit and nearly year-round ice cover. As one of the most isolated places on Earth, it remains largely unexplored, with only a few research bases operated by scientists conducting studies on climate, biology, and geology. Unlike the world's other continents, Antarctica has no permanent human inhabitants, and its environment is so severe that only a handful of people have ever ventured into its interior regions. The combination of harsh weather and isolation has allowed Antarctica to retain much of its mystery, and the discovery of a pyramid-like structure adds another layer to the continent's allure. Following the discovery, online forums and social media platforms became flooded with theories and explanations, ranging from the plausible to the fantastical. One popular theory suggests that the pyramid could be a natural geological formation. Some geologists argue that natural forces, such as wind erosion, glacial movement, and volcanic activity, can sometimes create shapes that resemble man-made structures. However, many are skeptical of this explanation, pointing out that few nunataks display the precise geometry and angles seen in the Antarctic pyramid. Another theory proposes that the pyramid could be the remnant of an ancient civilization that once inhabited Antarctica, potentially during a time when the continent's climate was far warmer and more hospitable than it is today. There is evidence to suggest that, millions of years ago, Antarctica had a temperate climate, with abundant forests and even animal life. Advocates of this theory suggest that an advanced civilization may have thrived in Antarctica before the continent was buried in ice, leaving behind structures that have only now come to light due to advancements in satellite technology like Google Earth. Some researchers have even speculated that an ancient civilization could have built a pyramid on Antarctica as part of a spiritual or astronomical practice, similar to the purposes of pyramids in Egypt and Central America. The concept of an ancient civilization in Antarctica has been discussed by researchers and fringe theorists alike. Some proponents of alternative archaeology argue that the presence of pyramid-like structures around the world, from Egypt to Mexico to Indonesia, points to a shared ancient knowledge or cultural connection between these distant societies. They believe that if a civilization did exist in Antarctica, it might help explain certain archaeological mysteries, such as the advanced architectural techniques and astronomical alignments seen in pyramids elsewhere. While mainstream archaeology remains skeptical of these claims, the idea has captivated the public and inspired debates over humanity's forgotten history. For those inclined toward more speculative explanations, the Antarctic pyramid has also fueled theories about extraterrestrial activity. Some believe that the structure could be an alien artifact, left behind as a marker or base for otherworldly visitors. The fact that Antarctica is so difficult to reach and largely uninhabited adds to the mystery, making it an ideal location, in the minds of some theorists, for extraterrestrial installations hidden from human view. According to this theory, the pyramid may hold secrets about humanity's origins or the existence of life beyond Earth, and the fact that it went unnoticed for so long lends credence to the idea that it was intentionally concealed. While no concrete evidence currently supports these more extraordinary claims, the Antarctic pyramid has nonetheless reignited the desire to explore the mysteries of the continent further. Scientists and researchers are cautious in their interpretations, with most explaining that natural geological formations can sometimes produce shapes that appear artificially made. However, the symmetrical lines and distinct shape of the Antarctic pyramid make it difficult for some to accept it as a simple rock formation. Ultimately, the discovery of the pyramid on Google Earth underscores how much of Antarctica remains uncharted and unexplored. As technology continues to advance, our ability to observe and map remote regions of the world will inevitably lead to more discoveries like this one. The Antarctic pyramid reminds us that there are still places on Earth that hold mysteries, waiting for us to uncover them and make sense of their origins. The Antarctic pyramid, for now, stands as a symbol of the unknown. Whether it is a natural geological feature, the relic of an ancient civilization, or something entirely beyond our understanding, it has captured the curiosity of people around the world. In the expansive and frigid landscape of Antarctica, a realm reserved for only the most courageous and daring explorers, A well-kept secret lies dormant, yearning to be unveiled. Recently, an experienced pilot with a penchant for archaeology found himself immersed in a fervent search on his computer, meticulously examining Google Earth in hopes of unearthing traces of concealed riches and ancient civilizations. Little did he realize that his quest would unfold an extraordinary narrative, the revelation of 4 ancient pyramids discreetly situated along the shores of Antarctica. This astonishing discovery not only captivated his adventurous spirit, but also beckoned the world to ponder upon the allure shrouding these age-old structures. Through the lens of history and mystery, a captivating tale emerges, weaving the threads of past civilizations and modern-day intrigue, inviting us to delve deeper into the unfathomable mysteries that Antarctica continues to unveil, holding within its icy embrace secrets that defy the constraints of time and imagination. The individual who initially shared the images expressed a deep-rooted fascination with ancient societies and the enigmas shrouding bygone eras. Over the course of many years, he dedicated countless hours poring over maps, scrutinizing satellite images, and delving into historical documents, all in a relentless quest for clues that could potentially unveil the mysteries of vanished civilizations. It was amidst the solitary hours of one of his nocturnal research endeavors that he chanced upon a startling revelation: an array of peculiar, pyramid-like formations concealed within the frigid expanse of Antarctica. This unexpected discovery ignited a spark of curiosity within him, prompting an intense exploration into the secrets veiled by the icy terrain, opening up a realm of possibilities and prompting a journey into the unknown depths of history. This recent breakthrough has sparked intense speculation regarding its nature and origin. Near Antarctica, there are 4 imposing pyramids that have intrigued many observers, who note their striking resemblance to the renowned pyramids of Egypt. This resemblance has led to conjecture that these Antarctic structures might have been constructed by ancient civilizations. While pyramid-like formations are not a novel phenomenon, some of the oldest known pyramids, situated in Egypt, have been estimated to have been built over 4,000 years ago. However, this timeline has faced challenges from various quarters, suggesting that these colossal edifices could have been erected by advanced societies predating the Egyptians. Supporting this notion is the example of Teotihuacan, a site hailed by historians as older than the Aztec civilization, leading to uncertainty regarding the culture or civilization responsible for its creation. The existence of these mysterious pyramids in Antarctica has reignited debates on ancient civilizations and their global reach, inviting us to delve deeper into the mysteries of our past. Deep within the realms of mysterious structures lies a fascinating topic where a similar concept is at play. Observers have remarked that these mysterious formations do not bear the natural semblance of mountains, but rather exhibit a deliberate arrangement that appears uncannily linear. Upon the dissemination of these images within online communities dedicated to the exploration of ancient constructs and relics, even the seasoned members were left perplexed by the discovery. Diverse opinions emerged among the group, acclaiming these visuals as among the most striking depictions of submerged pyramids ever encountered. The collective discourse surrounding these findings hints at a profound mystery that continues to captivate the imagination of those intrigued by the secrets hidden beneath the waves. As word about the groundbreaking discovery circulated, the man was overwhelmed by a deluge of inquiries from inquisitive individuals and adventurous seekers hailing from different parts of the globe. While some viewed his assertions with doubt, attributing the pyramids to mere geological formations or visual tricks, others were captivated by the prospect that these edifices might harbor the answers to unveiling the mysteries of Antarctica's ancient history. This widespread interest not only highlighted the global fascination with the find, but also underscored the varying perspectives and interpretations surrounding the enigmatic structures within the Antarctic landscape. The influx of varying opinions and reactions served to emphasize the complex and multifaceted nature of the discovery, sparking debates, discussions, and further investigations into the true nature of these anomalies. One individual expressed skepticism regarding the attribution of certain underwater structures as pyramids, arguing that they bear little resemblance to traditional pyramidal shapes and appear more akin to natural formations that incidentally adopt a pyramid-like configuration. Specifically, there are doubts raised about the accurate classification of these underwater sites as conventional pyramids. as their appearance aligns more with naturally occurring features reminiscent of pyramid shapes. The intriguing resemblance of this image to the iconic pyramids in Egypt, especially when observed from an aerial perspective, sparks curiosity and contemplation. While this similarity does not inherently suggest extraterrestrial origins, it does hint at the possibility of a nearby forgotten civilization, opening doors to a realm of captivating speculation and inquiries. Delving further, the discovery of such parallels between structures raises profound questions about the historical narratives and potential interactions among ancient civilizations. This unearths a realm of fascination, inviting exploration into the mysteries of the past and the puzzling connections. Taking precise measurements provides valuable insight into the dimensions of these four structures, revealing that they collectively span a total of 7,100 meters, or 23,000 feet. Scientists and historians have asserted that Antarctica has never been home to civilizations, casting doubt on the possibility of human habitation in the region. However, whenever new findings emerge that challenge this belief, it prompts a re-evaluation of the prevailing notion. Despite the prevailing consensus that Antarctica is void of any historical civilizations, the emergence of new evidence often sparks inquiries and skepticism regarding this idea. In the realm of exploring Antarctica, a differing perspective has been put forth, emphasizing the importance of adhering to factual evidence over mere assertions. Specifically, attention is drawn to the existence of four substantial pyramid-shaped structures located in close proximity to Antarctica. The proposal advocates for the dispatch of a research team to investigate these structures comprehensively, aiming to ascertain their significance. The rationale behind this expedition lies in the belief that even if the outcome yields no substantial discoveries, it will provide a definitive answer, thus adding to our knowledge base. Unveiling an intriguing juxtaposition, the discourse challenges the notion that these structures cannot be termed pyramids due to the absence of historical evidence of human habitation in Antarctica. It argues that such assertions hold weight only until new discoveries come to light. In the dynamic landscape of Antarctic exploration, the continuous unveiling of previously unknown aspects underscores the need to embrace unconventional thinking. The narrative encourages a proactive approach, advocating for a fearless pursuit of knowledge that transcends conventional wisdom and embraces the prospect of groundbreaking discoveries. This comprehensive exposition advocates for a meticulous examination of the mysterious structures near Antarctica, embodying a spirit of intellectual curiosity and a dedication to unraveling the mysteries of this vast and enigmatic continent. Scientists just discovered that Earth has a mysterious heartbeat every 27 million years. Research findings regarding ancient geological occurrences indicate a recurring pattern of geological processes on Earth approximately every 27 million years, resembling a steady and gradual heartbeat. The series of interconnected geological phenomena such as volcanic eruptions, mass die-offs, shifts in tectonic plates, and fluctuations in sea levels progress at an extraordinarily gradual pace, following a 27.5 million year pattern of dramatic changes. Fortunately, scientists predict that we are granted approximately another 20 million years before the occurrence of the subsequent cycle of these significant events. This extended timeline offers us a considerable span to prepare for and understand the implications of the forthcoming geological pulse. Many professionals in the field of geology, including Michael Rampino, a respected geologist from New York University and the principal investigator of the study, hold the belief that geological occurrences unfold in a seemingly unpredictable manner. Their research presents compelling statistical data supporting a consistent cycle, indicating a correlation among these geological occurrences rather than mere chance. This identification of patterns offers valuable insights into the underlying mechanisms governing these events, highlighting the interconnected nature of geological processes. The research team meticulously examined the chronological timeline of 89 extensively studied geological occurrences spanning over a period of 260 million years. The researchers detailed a range of occurrences in their study, encompassing instances of both marine and non-marine extinctions, significant ocean anoxic events, continental flood basalt eruptions, fluctuations in sea levels, worldwide bursts of intraplate magmatism, and periods marked by alterations in seafloor spreading velocities and plate rearrangements. The findings indicate a consistent correlation among global geological occurrences, showing a pattern of recurring cycles with an approximate duration of around 27.5 million years. Geologists have long devoted their efforts to studying a potential recurring pattern in geological phenomena. In the early 20th century, scientists proposed a 30-million-year cyclic pattern within the geological record. Later, in the 1980s and 1990s, researchers analyzed the most accurately dated geological occurrences available at the time to estimate a range for the duration between these recurrent geological pulses, settling on a span of 26 and 30 million years. This ongoing investigation into the periodicity of geological events highlights the meticulous and enduring nature of geoscientific inquiry, aiming to unravel the mysteries of the Earth's dynamic history. The current status appears to be well aligned. 27.5 million years aligns closely with our projections. A research article released towards the end of 2020, authored by the same individuals, posited that this particular 27.5 million year milestone coincides with periods of mass extinctions as well. The scholarly publication from 2018, authored by a pair of academics from the University of Sydney, delved into the intricate relationship between Earth's carbon cycle and the movements of its tectonic plates. Through a meticulous analysis, it was determined that the duration of this cycle spans an estimated 26 million years. In the most recent study conducted by Collins, it was elucidated that a significant proportion of the events examined by the research team possess a causal relationship, indicating that one event leads to the occurrence of another. Consequently, among the 89 events scrutinized, several are interconnected. An illustrative example of such interrelation is the occurrence of anoxic events triggering marine extinctions. Acknowledging the previously mentioned point, he further remarked on the apparent cyclical pattern spanning 26 to 30 million years, indicating its substantial existence across extended temporal scales. However, the fundamental cause behind this recurring cycle remains ambiguous and warrants further investigation. This periodicity, although evidently observable, poses a puzzling question regarding its underlying mechanisms. Recent studies conducted by researcher Rampino and his research team have put forth the notion that comet impacts could potentially be responsible for significant events in Earth's history. The concept that Earth may possess a geological heartbeat could potentially be attributed to a phenomenon that is more intimately connected to our planet. The synchronization of periodic shifts in tectonic activity and climatic variations could stem from either geophysical mechanisms linked to plate tectonics and mantle plumes, or possibly be synchronized with celestial rhythms tied to Earth's orbital motions within the solar system and the Milky Way, as detailed in the research conducted by the team. This intricate interplay between geological processes and environmental fluctuations unveils a complex interconnection that not only governs the evolution of landscapes, but also sheds light on the intricate dance of Earth within the cosmic realms. So, what do you make of these mysterious discoveries? Be sure to leave your questions and answers in the comments section below, and help us to grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.